Thank you very much, Lady Kim. Colleague ministers, but you would allow me to single out our host, the Member of Parliament for North East St. Anne, Matthew Samuda, my friend, my brother. Why? Place look good. Place is looking nice. Mayor and councillors, all the people who've turned out tonight. Good evening, everybody. All right. So much ground has already been covered. Your Member of Parliament don't come yet. The best tourism minister in the entire world don't come yet. So I'm going to try and keep my thing nice and short. And what we will do, whatever I don't cover, we will deal with in the question and answer segment. Because we have come here today to engage you. To engage you in a conversation about the future of Jamaica. And what future do you want to see? Remember, what we do now is not just for us. What we do now is for generations to come. To ensure that the lives of our children and our children's children, that they are better off than we found it. That is why we're here discussing choosing Jamaica. And I get to talk about the most important thing in the entire world. And that is food. Because no matter what you do in life, no matter how big you get, no matter how much money you make, you all have to eat. So can we have a round of applause for our farmers and our fishers who are out there working for us? I like to start these engagements by saying a lot have been said over the years around agriculture, around fisheries, and also around mining, the portfolios that are under my charge. But I always say to people, when anybody comes to have a discussion with you, especially about the problems in agriculture, the problems in fisheries, the problems in mining, ask them what have they done to fix them. Because we know some of the problems in agriculture have been around from before I was born. Our grandparents were talking about them. And a lot of people now talk a lot of talk. But when you ask them what they have done in their time to fix the problems, they can't answer you. We have looked at all of the challenges facing agriculture. And we have said we're going to take a transformative approach to agriculture, fisheries, and mining. And probably under each area, I'm going to tell you just 2 or 3 initiatives. We all know that the climate has changed. We know that the weather patterns change, not true? The drought is longer. When we get in rain, we get in more intense periods of rain. So it is harder for a farmer to depend on rainfall to be profitable. So for a long time we have been saying expand access to irrigation. Ensure that the farmers can have water right around the clock. And people have talked about it. In fact, when I looked during the period between 2012 and 2016, what they did about it, unfortunately what they did was to make a plan. But they didn't implement the plan. This government are the implementers. We are the action-oriented government. And over the last 8 years or so, we have spent over 10 billion with a B, the biggest investment ever in irrigation in Jamaica has happened under this government. We have dug new wells, we have put in new pipelines, we have commissioned new systems, and I'm not telling you what we're going to do. In fact, last 2 weeks, the Prime Minister was with us in a place in Clarendon called Parnassus, where we commissioned an irrigation system, bringing water to over 700 acres of land so that those farmers will now have water right around the clock. And one of the reasons why we have focused on some of those initiatives is genuinely to help our farmers. And St. Anne is one of the parishes that I believe has the most potential in relation to agriculture, in relation to fisheries, and we all know your history in relation to mining. So what we have done in St. Ann, if you do not know, is one of our big Irish potato growing belts. In fact, last year directly, Matthew, we helped over 400 farmers in giving them inputs to plant Irish potato. But when I came into St. Ann and I looked at the Irish program, I realized the Irish program does well when rain fall, but when rain no fall, you have a problem. So you know what we did? We went into Hindstown and we identified that area and we dug a catchment pond to serve the farmers in that area. And last year when everybody are complaining about rain, and I went down there to look, the farmers are celebrating because they have water from the catchment to use it to drive their agricultural enterprise now in Hindstown. And what we are doing, we are looking at all areas in St. Ann. And you have some wells that used to be used for mining that are no longer being utilized. And we are on a drive to recommission those wells and put them into water production for agriculture. So that ultimately, St. Ann is a parish that must be able not only to feed itself, not only to feed every tourist, but to really help us feed Jamaica in a very big way. The other thing I recognized when I came to St. Ann, you have a lot of land that is underutilized. So we are doing two things. We found some land that people were farming on, but they didn't have any documents for the land. A lot of those land are government land. And you know what happens when you farm on a piece of land that you don't have the document for? You put in some investment, but you're going to hold back. Because you don't know if next week a man going to come. So we got the Agro-Invest Corporation. We went to the NLA and we said, you know what, transfer that land to us. And we have now given leases for over 60 farmers to ensure that they can farm the land without any issues because they now have tenureship on that land. Additionally, I spoke to Matthew. And if you know you're a member of parliament, you know he does not stop. He is a strong advocate. And we said, St. Ann is missing an agro park. You have a lot of people who want to farm, but they can't find land with irrigation, with storage to be able to do their farms. So we spoke to the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Company, and our CEO is here, Donna Howe, and we have formed a partnership with the AIC, and we are pleased to announce that we are going to put 600 acres of land into the first ever agro park in St. Ann up in Lidford. That agro park will come with irrigation, it will come with a road network, and it will come with storage. So that when you farm and you have a glut, you don't have to throw it away. You don't have to depress your prices so you can't get return on your investment. You can store it and extend the shelf life so that right around the clock we will have a supply. Because we know how agriculture goes, not true? You farm the vegetable and it come in plenty because everybody have farm the same time, yes? And then what happens? The price go down and the farmers don't get any return on their investment. 2 weeks later, all the vegetables are gone. And then what happens? The price go up and the consumer complain that the price is too high. The only way to fix it is through storage. So we are spending this year $1 billion on putting in storage across Jamaica to ensure that our farmers can get a good return on their investment. So that is agriculture. Let me jump quickly to fisheries, because sometimes you forget that St. Ann is a big fishing parish. You have some of the best fishermen and women out there. But we know the challenges. We know that over the years, there has been some overfishing. So they're not getting the sort of returns that they used to get. And governments have come and they have spoken about it. But your government is doing something about it. Let me tell you what we have done. We have identified 3 fishing beaches in St. Anne. We have trained fishers from those beaches in what we call long line fishing. Not only have we trained them, the top 3 from the training, they get engine, they get lines, they get GPS so that they can go further out. Why we want them to go further out? You know what Minister Bartlett wanted in hotels? He want marlin, he want mahi-mahi, he want wahoo. All of those things you can find in our sea. But the fishermen have to know how to catch them. And I can tell you, you see, since we do the training, I'm not talking about what we're going to do, you know. I'm talking about what we're doing. If you want us tomorrow, just go down to Discovery Bay Beach. Ask the black God. Tell them, say, I'm me send you. And ask him what him catch since week. Because since we do the training, every day me get picture. Marlin, mahi-mahi. And when I go down there and I meet with him and I say, how is it going? How is the seal? You can't give me one. The man said, boy, minister, you have to go circle me back. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. You see the villa them up there, so? Then just take it fresh off of the boat. We are transforming the lives of our fishers by training them to do what they need to do to live. And we are on a drive, and I've said to Matthew, we are on a fishing beach rehabilitation program. And we're going to rehabilitate the beaches in St. Anne. We're working with the Jamaica Bauxite Institute and the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited. We're working with National Fisheries Authority, so you can tell the fishers that we are moving to ensure they have better conditions to ply their wares. Last one, mining. We can talk about mining all night. One aspect I want to talk about. 2 aspects. The Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited is a St. Anne company. It was formed to hold our bauxite assets. If you don't know, the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited are the owners of Reynolds Pier. And I think you should give them a big round of applause. Because when the issues happen with Ocho Rios, it is the Reynolds Pier that has taken on the cruise ship. And we haven't just taken it on. Just the other day, Minister Bartlett, we did a nice mural so that when people come to Jamaica, they know that they have landed in a wonderful place here in Ocho Rios. But I have said to the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited, bauxite is one thing, but we need to look at other forms of investment. We have a lot of land, we have a lot of old buildings. We are going to build a logistics hub in St. Anne so that we can generate more jobs for the people of St. Anne. St. Anne has wonderful connectivity. Highways lead here, and we have the land. So we're going to put in the infrastructure so all sorts of businesses can come into our logistic hub and employ the people. So we have an employment plan through the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited. So I want you to appreciate in every area of government, we are thinking about you and how we can create a better Jamaica for you. We're trying to ensure that our farmers can make more money, that our fishers can have greater wealth, and that transitioning from bauxite to provide greater employment for the residents. So as I close, I say to all of you, when we go out to talk about the work of this government, we can hold up our head high. We don't have a campaign on what we're going to do. We can campaign on what we have done. And for the first time in the history of our country, you have a government that can campaign on the work that it has done. I know some of them had hurt them because every day our Prime Minister opens something new. I break ground for something new because we have put in the work. There is more work to be done. This is the government to get it done. God bless you, everybody.